Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing the Fall Cozy Time book tag, and that was created by Sam from Novels and Nonsense. I will link her video up here as well as in the down bar if you want to see the original video for this tag. It is a very, very cold day today, so I thought it was the perfect time to do this tag. Let's get started. Okay, so the first one is Crunching Leaves. And you're supposed to choose a book with orange, red, and yellow on the cover. And I'm actually going to go with a book I haven't read yet, but I'm hoping to read very soon. And that is We Are All Completely Beside Ourselves by Karen Joy Fowler. I just picked this book up when I was in Asheville, and it was one of those that I just picked up because it was on the staff picks shelf, and I thought it sounded interesting. And then this past week, I have seen so many people talk about this, and a couple of my friends are actually reading it right now. So I didn't really know that this book was popular or something that a lot of people were reading. But I'm very excited to read it. It looks like it's going to be good. I can't really tell you anything about it because, I don't know, the back of the book is kind of vague. And from what I understand, it's good to go into this not really knowing a lot. So yes, that is my first pick. The next one is Cozy Sweater. So you're supposed to pick a book that makes you feel all warm and fuzzy inside. And while this is just one of the books, it's a series that they always just make me so happy. And it's one of those things that I pick up and read when, I don't know, I was having a reading slump at the beginning of this year, and this series is what kind of got me back on track reading. And I flew through like 3 of these books, and for some reason I can't find any of the rest of them, but that's okay because this was the one that I read at the beginning of the year that made me that got me out of my reading slump. But it's the Pink Carnation series by Lauren Willig, and this one is not Mischief Under the Mistletoe, Mischief of the Mistletoe. This is probably one of my favorites of the series. But yeah, these are just so fun. They're a little predictable. It's basically like each one is a spy novel wrapped in a romance. And so there's like there's always like a couple that gets together in the book. And I don't know, this story especially was really, really cute and one of my favorites of like the love stories. So these are always a nice pick-me-up, warm, fuzzy sort of book series to read. The next one is Fall Storm, and it's what book or genre do you read when it's stormy outside? I don't have any particular book or genre, just whatever I happen to be reading at the time. I love to grab a book and a cup of tea and curl up on the couch under a bunch of blankets or with my fiance and just read. It doesn't really have to be any certain genre or any particular book, just whatever I'm reading at the time. So the next one is Cool Crisp Air. What character would you want to switch places with? And I thought about this for a while and I was like, should I pick somebody from Harry Potter? Because I think everybody knows that I'd love to go to Hogwarts. But I went with something sort of similar, but not quite. And that's Gemma Doyle from the Great and Terrible Beauty series. Let's check to make sure that their last name was Doyle. But yeah, Gemma Doyle from the Great and Terrible Beauty series. This series is full of like magic and other realms and really cool stuff like that. And it's set at like a women's boarding school. And I went to a women's college, so when I first picked up this book, it was like, to me, it was like Hogwarts at Hollins. And Hollins is the school that I went to. But so I sort of identified with this character anyways, just because I was like, oh, it's Hogwarts at Hollins. It's like a women's college with magic. But I think that the worlds that are created in this book are fun, and I really liked the character of Gemma Doyle. I thought that she was really interesting and feisty, and I would totally want to take her place in this book. That would be so much fun. Alright, so the next one is Hot Apple Cider, which, side note, I love me some apple cider. But this is, what underhyped book do you think deserves more attention? And for me, that has to be The Bel Canto by Anne Patchett. This is one of my all-time favorite books, and I've read quite a few of Anne Patchett's books. Some of them are great, some of them are eh. She's pretty famous for The Patron Saint of Liars, I think is the name of the book. I read it a while ago. But The Bel Canto is an amazing, like, epic book. It's basically set in, I can't remember, it's South America. I couldn't remember if it was Africa or South America. It's set in South America, and it's like an opera house. And basically, these people are there for an event, and then they get held hostage. And it's sort of what happens from there on out. So it's like, you learn about, like, what it's like to be one of those people who are holding them hostage, and what it's like to be a hostage in those situations. And it's just crazy. You develop sort of sympathies, and, you know, you're drawn to characters that at first you really think you shouldn't be. And it's just so well written, and it's fantastic. And I feel like I haven't ever heard anybody talk about this. I was lent it by a friend of mine, and she said it was fantastic. I think you'll love it. And I just fell in love. And I think that more people should definitely pick this one up because it is incredible. The next one is, where did it go? Okay. The next one is Coats, Mittens, and Scarves. What book cover do you find embarrassing to read in public, or do you not want to, like an embarrassing book cover, basically? And I don't actually have the dust jacket for this one, so it's really not that embarrassing as it is, because it just looks like a blank book. But I'll insert the cover over here. It's called His Needs, Her Needs, and it's like a self-help relationship book, I guess. Somebody recommended it to me. I think it was through YouTube I found out about it. And it's basically like a book for people who are married. Like, I think it's called like an affair-proof marriage or something like that. And I am engaged, and my fiance and I talk a lot about, like, you know, going into a marriage, you know, knowing what you're getting into and sort of being prepared. And I had been told that this is a great book for, you know, thinking about things from your partner's perspective. And so we've been reading it together and sort of like going, like, there's questions at the end, and so we answer them together. And it's a really great thing for our relationship, and it's definitely a cool book. But I definitely would never read it in public, because it's like people immediately are like, oh, you're not even married and you're already reading a book about affairs? That's not a good sign. All kinds of nosy people saying really uncomfortable, inappropriate things. Okay, and the last one, well, not the last one, there's two more. Pumpkin Spice, which is, what is your favorite fall comfort food? That's a good question. I mean, tea is a great comfort all the time thing, but it's not a food, so I guess that doesn't really fit. I eat a lot of soup in the fall, mostly because it's easy to make and warm and delicious, and then I have like a gallon of soup in the freezer that I can just grab for lunch or dinner or whatever, and it's easy. What else? I like sweet potato casserole. We always have that with Thanksgiving and with Christmas, and it's basically like a dessert, but it has sweet potatoes, and it's delicious, and it's my favorite thing about the holidays, food-wise, so I'll go with that too. I can't just pick one. And the last one is Warm Bonfire. Who do you tag? And most of the booktubers that I watch have already done this, so I'm not going to tag anybody. But if you want to do it, definitely do it, and let me know that you did in the comments, and I will go watch it, because this is a fun tag to watch. So yeah, I enjoyed doing this, and again, check out Sam's video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!